In 1901, divers off a small Greek island pulled up a corroded lump of bronze from a shipwreck. For decades, it sat ignored, until X-rays revealed dozens of interlocking gears, precise engravings, and a complexity no one believed possible. This was the Antikythera Mechanism, a 2,000-year-old machine that could predict eclipses and chart the heavens. A computer, centuries ahead of its time. And then, it vanished. No instructions. No tradition of building them. Just one impossible artifact that appeared, and disappeared. But here's the unsettling question: what if this isn't unique? What if history is full of technology we should have inherited, concrete stronger than steel, blades that never dulled, even machines that tapped hidden energy, and someone, or something, made sure we never got them? Because think about it, what if the technology to solve climate change, end famine, or even cure disease, had already been invented, and then deliberately destroyed? This isn't just about dusty ruins or ancient curiosities. It's about power. And if those who believe in suppression are right, it's not just ancient history. It's still happening today. The Antikythera Mechanism wasn't alone. History offers flashes of genius that vanish without a trace. Damascus steel swords were legendary. Sharper than any blade of their time, able to slice silk in midair. Modern metallurgists discovered carbon nanotubes and nanowires embedded in the steel, medieval engineers creating structures only rediscovered in the 20th century. And then? The secret was lost. Roman concrete offers another mind-bending example. Harbors and bridges built 2,000 years ago still withstand pounding waves, while our modern infrastructure crumbles. Why? Seawater triggered chemical reactions with volcanic ash, making the material grow stronger with age. Imagine if your daily commute relied on roads that never needed repair. That's what the Romans achieved. These aren't just curiosities. They hint at a pattern: genius appears, benefits civilizations, and then disappears. Why? Some theories suggest natural disasters or loss of expertise. But here's the chilling thought: those who profit from controlling technology, emperors, guilds, industrial monopolies, might have ensured certain knowledge never reached the masses. And then there's the inventor who dreamed of free energy for everyone, and whose work may have been deliberately buried to protect billion-dollar industries. Could it be that this pattern of disappearance continues even today? Not every lost technology vanished by accident. Many disappeared because they threatened existing power structures. Take Greek fire, the Byzantine Empire's secret weapon that burned on water. For 600 years, it protected Constantinople from naval attacks. When the empire fell in 1453, the secret died with Callinicus's descendants, and centuries of specialized knowledge vanished. Consider the Mayan codices. In the 16th century, Spanish conquistador Diego de Landa burned thousands of books containing advanced astronomy, medicine, and engineering. He called them works of the devil. Knowledge that surpassed contemporary European understanding disappeared in days. Even Tesla's wireless power project succumbed to financial realities. J.P. Morgan withdrew funding, not due to conspiracy, but because Tesla couldn't deliver a commercially viable system. Innovation often fails not from malice, but from economic pressure. These cases reveal a troubling pattern: the most revolutionary technologies often threaten those in power. Greek fire protected an empire for 6 centuries but died with its creators. Mayan astronomy surpassed European knowledge but was destroyed as heretical. Tesla's energy dreams collapsed under financial constraints. When breakthrough knowledge challenges existing systems, military, religious, or economic, it rarely survives the transition between civilizations. And the question lingers: what knowledge are we losing today? Next, we'll explore medical and biological marvels lost to history, innovations that could have changed lives, but whose secrets vanished due to neglect, politics, or deliberate suppression. Understanding these losses reveals both the fragility and resilience of human ingenuity. But the most chilling suppressions weren't about energy or engineering. They were about healing, knowledge that could have saved millions of lives. The cancer plant that disappeared. In 1922, Canadian nurse Renee Kess discovered that Ojibwe tribes used a 4-herb combination to treat cancer patients. Her ESIAC formula showed remarkable results: tumors shrinking by 75%, terminal patients living years beyond their prognosis. When Kess sought official approval, the medical establishment fought back. The Canadian Medical Association pressured the government to prosecute her for practicing medicine without a license. For 50 years, she treated patients in secret. When Kess died in 1978, the complete formula died with her. That year, the American Cancer Society estimated over 600,000 deaths from cancer in the US alone, patients who might have benefited had her knowledge survived. Today, only partial reconstructions exist, the exact ratios, timing, and processing techniques are lost forever. The antibiotic that preceded penicillin. In the 1920s, Soviet scientists pioneered bacteriophage therapy, using viruses to kill deadly bacteria. Treatments were effective and inexpensive, a single dose cost $50, compared to penicillin's $500 plus treatment. Yet Western pharmaceutical companies largely ignored bacteriophages, focusing on therapies they could patent and profit from. Bacteriophage knowledge survived in Soviet countries but remained virtually unknown in America for decades. Now, with antibiotic resistance rising, Western medicine is finally rediscovering what Soviet doctors mastered a century ago. The pattern of medical suppression. A clear pattern emerges: breakthrough medical knowledge rarely disappears by accident. It vanishes when it threatens existing profit models. Pharmaceutical companies can't patent plants or viruses, so the focus shifts to synthetic compounds, leaving effective natural or alternative therapies buried. The most advanced medical technology isn't always the newest. Sometimes it's the oldest, guarded by indigenous healers, hidden in ancient texts, or suppressed by industries that profit from sickness. Next, we'll explore the economic forces behind this suppression, and calculate what these lost medical technologies would be worth if they emerged today. The true cost of lost technology isn't just historical curiosity, it's measurable economic impact. 1. Roman concrete's infrastructure value. Roman harbors built 2,000 years ago still stand, while modern concrete crumbles within decades. Engineers estimate that implementing self-healing concrete inspired by Roman methods could reduce global infrastructure maintenance costs by hundreds of billions over the next century. The Romans solved this problem millennia ago, but the knowledge vanished for 1,500 years. 2. Medical knowledge economics. Bacteriophage therapy typically costs a fraction of antibiotic treatments. Economists estimate that if Soviet-era bacteriophage knowledge had been preserved and developed globally, healthcare systems could potentially have saved billions annually while avoiding antibiotic resistance crises. 3. The hemp industrial revolution that never was. Before its prohibition in 1937, hemp was used for textiles, paper, and building materials. Economists estimate that hemp suppression cost the U.S. economy over $100 billion in alternative industries that never developed. Only recently has hemp been re-legalized, decades after its potential was recognized. 4. Pattern of economic suppression. Lost technologies often threatened existing industries. Roman concrete would disrupt cement companies. Cheap medical alternatives threatened pharmaceutical profits. Hemp competed with cotton, timber, and petrochemicals. The economic forces that buried these technologies are still active today. How much innovation are we losing to protect existing profit models? Next, we'll examine the specific mechanisms of technological suppression, and why some inventions are deliberately buried rather than accidentally lost. The suppression of revolutionary technologies didn't end with ancient empires, it continues today through subtler, modern mechanisms. Patent acquisition and burial. Large corporations often buy patents not to develop them, but to prevent competitors from using them. For example, since 1980, energy companies have acquired hundreds of alternative energy patents, with only a fraction ever seeing practical application. The rest remain legally off-limits, slowing innovation. Regulatory capture. Industries influence the very agencies meant to oversee them. Regulatory requirements, like FDA clinical trials, favor patentable synthetic drugs over natural remedies. Potentially life-saving treatments from plants or unconventional methods may never receive funding or approval, leaving them inaccessible. Academic and funding barriers. Research threatening profitable industries struggles to gain attention. For decades, oil companies delayed or obscured climate research. Similarly, medical studies on natural or low-cost treatments face difficulty getting published in journals influenced by pharmaceutical advertising. Digital age suppression. Modern tech companies also participate in subtle suppression. Startups, apps, or platforms that could disrupt billion-dollar industries are often acquired and shelved. Algorithms prioritize established players while burying innovative alternatives. Speech balloon. Pause and think, if a technology could solve major global problems, clean energy, healthcare, or sustainable food systems, but threaten trillion-dollar industries, how do you think society would respond? Next, We'll explore the most mind-bending individual lost technologies, inventions so advanced they challenge even modern science. The suppression of revolutionary technologies continues today, often through verifiable economic and institutional mechanisms. Industry patent strategies. Corporations sometimes acquire patents not to develop them, but to prevent competitors from using them. Studies suggest a significant percentage of medical and technological patents acquired by major companies never reach development. Regulatory barriers. Approval processes, such as the FDA's clinical trial requirements, heavily favor large companies able to fund $100+ million trials. Inventors of promising natural treatments often exhaust life savings trying to meet these requirements, only to fail, ensuring that some potentially life-saving technologies never reach the public. Academic suppression through funding. Research threatening profitable industries faces systematic funding obstacles. For example, internal documents from ExxonMobil revealed decades of climate research suppression through strategic funding manipulation. Digital age control. Tech giants acquire potential competitors, control platforms, and influence information flow through algorithms. Many innovative apps or platforms may be shelved because they disrupt existing business models, reinforcing the pattern of suppression. Call to action. Consider how many breakthroughs might exist in corporate vaults or abandoned labs, waiting for economic conditions that favor their development. But what about the technologies so advanced they couldn't just be suppressed, they had to be forgotten? In the final section, we'll explore these mind-bending inventions and their mysterious histories. Some lost technologies are so sophisticated they challenge our understanding of what ancient civilizations could achieve. The Lycurgus Cup, nanotechnology in 400 AD. This Roman glass cup changes color from green to red depending on light direction. Recent analysis revealed gold and silver nanoparticles embedded at the atomic level, nanotechnology, invented in the 1980s. How did 4th century craftsmen manipulate matter so precisely? Sacsayhuamán, precision without modern tools. These Peruvian stone walls fit together so perfectly that you can't slip a knife blade between blocks. Some stones weigh over 100 tons and were cut with laser-like precision. No mortar was used, yet the structures have survived major earthquakes for centuries. The techniques remain unknown. The Baghdad Battery, electricity before Franklin. Clay jars found in Iraq contain copper cylinders and iron rods. When filled with acidic liquid, they generate electrical current. If ancient Mesopotamians had batteries 2,000 years ago, what were they powering? No electrical devices from that era have been found. The pattern of loss. What's most striking isn't just that these technologies existed, it's how completely they vanished. No transitional examples, no development records, no gradual evolution. They appeared fully formed, then disappeared entirely. This reveals a troubling truth: revolutionary knowledge regularly disappears, whether through deliberate suppression by threatened powers, catastrophic loss, or failure to preserve critical information across generations. Each loss represents centuries of potential progress, technologies that could have prevented disease, improved living conditions, or solved problems we still struggle with today. The question that remains: how much breakthrough knowledge lies buried in history? What cures, energy sources, or engineering solutions existed but never reached us? The next technological revolution might not require new invention, it might just need rediscovery. Share your thoughts. Which lost technology fascinates you most? Do you think it disappeared by accident or design?